Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Final Flight podcast. Myself, James, is here once again, and Rich is here. And oh my God, I'm almost speechless. It's Joe. Joe is back. Joe, you've got some sort of digs now. You're hooked up to the Wi-Fi. How are you, mate? Welcome back.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. All ready for the preview. It's been a long time coming. Working the weekend, so I'm not travelling tonight. So yeah, get my teeth stuck into some racing with you lads. I know you've been smashing it, so fingers crossed I don't let the side down tonight.
You've actually got a very clear picture and a very banging sound. I can't believe it. I'm actually a little bit gobsmacked.
Don't speak too quick.
Yeah, as long as you don't pick some winners and you'll be fine. But yeah, it's good to have you back, mate. Like I say, it's good to have him back on the show. Me and Rich have been doing all right lately, not too bad. A couple of good winners last weekend, didn't we, Rich? With Derry St Paddy, probably the best one. The 6-1 was a dream. We thought his experience would be the only thing that beat him, but he got in there in the end. Even though Harry Skelton did his best to stop him winning, didn't he? Nudging into him and getting ahead of him. But yeah, good winner in the end. You had Mr. Vango, which is another good one. And away from that, we had stuff like Protectorate one and stuff. Some really good performances at Windsor. I quite like Windsor. I thought it was a good watch. So yeah, hopefully a lot more racing over at Windsor. Right, well, looking forward to this weekend. We've obviously got the Cheltenham Trials Day, which is a very exciting meeting, a very exciting day. We look forward to that. Constitution Hill's back. We'll get onto him later. We've got some racing at Doncaster we're going to cover as well, including the Great Yorkshire Chase. A few people have got free tickets from us familiar in the week, so that's great. I'm going there I'm going tomorrow, which will be good, so I'm looking forward to that. A nice chilled day. Right. Without further ado, then, we're going to do, I think it's 4 to 5 races from Cheltenham and then 4 from Doncaster, something like that. But we're going to kick straight off with the 12:40 tomorrow, which is the Timeform Novices Handicap Chase, and we've got Jaguar back for Greenall and Guerrero. Obviously got beat last time out. That big error at the last did him, but he's probably going to get beaten away from Jinko Blue. Resplendent Glade drops in class in there into an handicap, and second favourite Masacchio's in here as well. Billy the Big Red is also in here with Henry Brook on for the Greenall team, which is interesting. And sort of 10-1 bigger the rest. Joe, obviously I've got to come to you first, mate. It's been a long time coming. Who's your first selection back on the pod?
Well, it's very boring. East India Doc, surely. Very, very impressive.
Hang on, mate. Sorry, mate. I think there's been a bit of a mix-up. On the when I put the thing, I actually put 1:15, but it's the 12:40, mate.
Sorry, got you. Well, there's no getting away from it, is there? I'm all over Jaguar. I still think he's very, very, very well. Oh,
just hang on a sec, Rich. You definitely don't read what I put. Then you just saw the time, didn't you? You didn't look at what the actual name of the race was. He's smiling. He's messaged me now saying this wasn't on the plan.
I
put the wrong time, but the right race name.
Obviously handicap, and then you've got the bet for handicap chase.
Yeah, I know, but I realised that I put 1:15 Timeform Novices Handicap Chase. I should have put 12:40. Next time, read the message. Because East India Doc's a short price favourite. I know there's Sauvignon in there, but I thought we'll leave that out and talk about it later on. So, yeah, it's a 12:40, lads. Sorry, mate. Does any of you even bother to look at it? Do you want me to do it?
No, I can. We can have a look.
Go on, Joe. Crack on, mate. Sorry, pal.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah. You know what? We all love Jaguar. I absolutely love him. I think the last day, obviously, he did make that mistake, didn't he? I feel like, Bangor and Wetherby, I was there. He'd sort of just got up. And the next time at Bangor, I thought he was so impressive. That was the extended 2 mile 4. I know it doesn't make a massive difference, the extra half furlong, But I'm hoping with 8 runners here, he can have a pace target if they can go a decent gallop, because there was only 5 runners in that race at Uttoxeter, and I don't think they went very fast. Bangor there was 15 and Wetherby there was 8. And looking at the races, they did sort of go fast pretty early. So I'm hoping that can be the case, and Jaguar can do what he done at Wetherby and similar before, middle pack towards the back, just getting that nice rhythm and then pick up the pieces at the end. I think it's pretty obvious that he needs a step up and he wants a step up, and I think he'll get that hopefully in the springtime at some big handicaps. But I think at the minute they're obviously trying to keep his handicap down. But I think if they go a decent pace, and I think there's horses in here who will offer him that, I think he's definitely the one to beat.
Yeah, it's fair enough, mate. I mean, I think they've got Billy the Big Red in here. Obviously, likes to go off the front. I think he'll set a decent clip. I've left Jaguar this time. I think the odd little mistake that he keeps making has just put me off at a short price. I'm going with Resplendent Grey, dropping down into handicap. I think he's got a great chance. I like the form behind Highland and the form behind Handstands. I'm a bit wary of this form for Jaguar behind Jinko Blue. And it's Lowry's Bar in there as well, who kind of pushed him quite, not close, but was in behind him as well. So I don't know. I just questioned it a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Resplendent Grey. Sean Bowen's obviously riding out of his skin at the moment. He's getting some horses home in ridiculous ways. So I think if they set a good clip, I think it'll only suit him, even though he's dropping back in trips. So I think if it comes a bit of a test, I think it'll be fine for him as well. So I'm sticking with Resplendent Grey. Rich, did you manage to have a quick look then just then? Here with Jaguar against?
Yeah, I've had a quick look. I mean, Jaguar obviously is improved for a fence. He's taking on Billy the Real Big Red, who arguably is an improver like Jaguar. I mean, he won his last 2 chase starts. Jaguar, last time out against Jinko Blue, he probably was going to finish second, wasn't he? Apart from that mistake at the last. Jinko's gone and won a grade 2 next time out, so you can't really knock that form. Resplendent Grey arguably has the better form in the field. He finished behind Highland, and Springway. Was it Springwell Boy was in third?
Springwell Bay, yeah.
He's bolted up by like 9 lengths in the handicap next time out. So, he's arguably the form pick. I do like Jaguar. I'm just concerned after watching it last time that he might be vulnerable to a speedier type. Like we always thought, he's a big, imposing type that needs 3 miles. I do think we'll probably see the best of him when he does step up. I would chance the other horse, Billy the Real Big Red, with Henry Buck. He's running off 10 stone 10. Resplendent Grey's 12 stone, Jaguar 11.3. Like you say, he likes to get off in the front. If he sets a decent pace, has Jaguar got the speed to catch him? I don't really know. Resplendent Grey, his jump is not the cleanest, is it? I don't know. It's a tricky little race. I'd probably go Billy the Real Big Red each way, just as a chance that Greeno and Guerrero will win it, but maybe not with the horse that they think. Because we all know John Joy's going to ride Jaguar cold out the back and then come with a late run, as seen in his last 3 chase starts. So we will see.
Yeah, it's fair enough. For me, the worry with Billy the Big Red, or Billy the Big Real, I can't say his name, Billy the Real Big Red.
Yeah.
The ground was a worry for me. I remember Josh mentioning how, he'd want maybe soft, heavy would be sort of best, and you're talking good ground, good to soft at the moment. Don't know how much rain they're going to get, but they might have a little bit tonight. I know there's a bit of a storm coming, but I think you're looking at fastest ground. I think Resplendent Grey's obviously got that form behind Highland on good ground. I was thinking he'll handle it a bit better, but it's a tasty little race. Definitely is. We'll see which way it goes. Matty, love it song. Good evening, Matt. But Joe, back in God's country. Yeah, it's good to have him back. It's definitely good to have him back on. What I'll do is, do you want to have a quick chat? Do you want to mention the 115 then, seeing as you've obviously dissected it with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm sure you've come up with a winner?
Oh, a big price winner.
Price, yeah.
Does it? Let's be honest.
No, it doesn't take much dissecting at all. I think the favourite's absolutely rock solid.
He's in the Muggy Acker, I think.
Doc, yeah, I think he's a Muggy Acker one. What I would look out for I remember, I'm certain it's this horse, watching a Tony Mullins on a podcast before Christmas now. It was in about October. It was the end of October. Yeah, it was the end of October. And he mentioned Stencil. And he won on his first start of the season after being gelded. And then he comes sixth in a grade 3 hurdle. It's his first run over here. And I know Tony Mullins is not one normally to take gospel, but he's probably one I would have a little look out for. He put him up for the Triumph at about 30s and his price collapsed, and then obviously he won. And I'm sure he was around favourite the start of the season. But yeah, East India Dock for me, absolute machine.
Same for you, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, Tony Mullins mentioned Stencil, and next time out he bombed out in 6th, didn't he? So that kind of blew that bubble.
Zeal Boodle's horse, maybe.
I mean, maybe we'll see how he runs. That could be the potential target. Yeah, East India Dock just wins, doesn't he? I mean, visually he's been very impressive. 18-length winner last time back here in November. Savignon coming over from France. I'm not sure about the form. I mean, he did win his last race, I think, but second, Sonny Bill finished 7 lengths behind Lady Vega Allen and Hello Neighbour in Ireland in December. So I would maybe question that quite a bit. And yeah, Eastern Redot just wins one for the Mugyakas. I think he opened up evens this morning, or at some point today he was even money.
Yeah, so I was surprised if that lasted long, like.
Yeah, so that was a steal if you managed to grab some of that. But yeah, Eastern Redot.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to build a Mugyaka. There's definitely a Mugyaka this week, and you can see it, can't you, as we go along. But no, it's fine. We'll go on then to the 150. Have you both looked at the 150?
Yeah,
that's all right then. The Betfair Exchange Handicap Chase, and we have another G&G favourite in here. Rocco's in here. Will he want to win? Who knows? God knows. Ginny's Destiny 4-1, Imperial Saint 7-1, Moon Orange 8-1, Solarcon 8-1, Gemron 10-1, bigger the rest. Rich, go for you, mate. Is it a Rocco? Are they going to get a win or what?
I mean, it's an interesting race, isn't it? But yeah, you just can't be backing a Rocco until he's got his Chase mark his Grand National mark nailed down.
Wait till the weights have come out for National, then they can do what they like after that, can't they?
Exactly. I mean, for me, Iroko, it's been well documented that National is his target, and his campaign has been around that. So he was never going to pull up any trees. I mean, I thought he was quite unlucky last time at Ascot where he got bumped. Whether or not how much he got bumped is another question, but he did fall last time at Ascot. But he's only really had 5 chase starts in his career, and only 2 of those was a novice because he had that injury that he was out for. But, you know, he's joint highest rated in this. How much would his mark change if he did bolt up? I don't really know. It's the trip. The trip is another factor. It's 2 miles 4, is it? Yeah, 2 miles 4. I mean, he needs 3 miles plus, doesn't he? So I just can't see how you can back him. I'm surprised he's favourite, to be honest with you. And I think he is drifting slightly, but yeah, you can't be backing him because there's a number of question marks, like his mark, the National, the trip, his whole campaign, really. So yeah, I'd wait until the National marks are out before getting stuck into him. Maybe a race at Cheltenham, who knows. The one I did land on, I quite like Ginny's Destiny for Nichols. Joint rated with Iroko at 152, but he did finish second twice in Grade 1s in his novice chase career. One time in the Turners, and then it was Aintree. I think Nichols did mention that he's a horse that always has taken a run, or maybe 2 to get right, just to get fitter. He finished 4th last time, I think, which was a better, improved effort. He was behind Protectorat, who then has just bolted up, beating Jello, who won the race at Hunterton. So I think that's pretty decent form. And like you say, if he is back to fitness now, he's had them couple of runs, I think he could be quite dangerous. I think he's entering the Ryanair, so I don't think there's any sort of handicap marks to worry about necessarily. So yeah, I think he's the one to go at, or he's the one I'll be playing, I think.
Guess what, Rich?
Oh,
I agree with you.
Oh,
I've also landed on Ginny's Destiny. I think he's definitely got the chance. We've got to give him the chance to bounce back 100%. I mean, he pulled up in the Paddy Power, and then third behind Jello in the Peterborough, and I think if you look at horses, I mean, as well, similar to like Protectorat, he was sort of well beaten in the Peterborough, and he's bounced back at Windsor. I think this horse definitely takes a run or two to get fit. I think you bang right there. I think he definitely prefers to go left-handed. If they get loose off the front, I think it could be very hard to beat. I know Nichols is under a bit of a cloud at the moment, but you just feel like he's the type of horse that could maybe bounce back in a race like this. It's a little bit open. He got beat in his first run last season, so it's one of them. It's similar sort of thing. I think back at Cheltenham, I think he really likes Cheltenham, so I think he's definitely the one to be on for me. Rocco, I don't know. I think the worst thing they probably could have done was saying that they were going for national and working back, because I think, is it like a bit like, like how Langadan's been beat, but they're not moving his mark because he's been beat twice. I know he fell last time, beat the time before that. Mark still says the same.
I think on Saturday the main aim is just to get round.
I mean, he's running over 2.5, and he's not a 2.5 mile, especially not in open company. He could get away with it maybe when he were a novice, and all that sort of stuff, like the early days at Warwick and things like that. But to me, he wants to be outpaced here. He wants to be getting outpaced here, staying on 4th or 5th or something, for him to even look at changing the mark or lowering it. He might get a pound or two off, something like that. But yeah, going down the rest of them, I thought Ginny's Destiny's got a right chance if he bounces back to some sort of form, and Nichols can get him out of the get himself out of the rut. What about yourself, Joe?
I completely agree. Just looking through his Cheltenham form, I know it's a triple for us. Apart from his last run at Cheltenham, which was obviously the first run of the season, I know he finished 7th on his first Chase start for Nichols, and then first at Cheltenham, and went to the festival. And, he was only beaten 2 lengths by Great Dawning. And he's obviously had a very tough race there. He beat Jello by 8 lengths. He beat Rocco in there. I know, obviously, he was injured most of the season, but he had a lot of good horses in behind. And I just feel like when you have a season like that, and then they took him to Aintree as well. And he had a tough race there, getting beat by Alea Toms, but still finishing ahead of Great Dawning. It can often take it out here, and he's probably come back and maybe lacked that bit of oomph. But I think that the run at Huntington last time was pretty a step in the right direction. It wasn't impressive, but it was a step in the right direction. And you had Protectorat and Jello in there, were very competitive horses. Protectorat's a bit of a freak, but Jello, you normally get a good run in, and you know where you stand against him. Like I say, he seemed to weaken in the running, but he'll obviously improve for that run. And like we said there, it's difficult. You can't really be, as much as we love Iroko, you can't really be backing him or putting too much faith in him, because like you said, they've said time and time again, they're working back from the Grand National. No one really knows how much they want to win. Will they get put up by much? Trelawn beat Iroko, didn't he, narrowly at the start of the season, and Trelawn got put up a fair bit. So will they be looking at that thinking, well, even if we win by a head in this race, we could get put up a fair bit, So for me, like you said there, I think Ginny's Destiny, if he gets off from the front end, he will be quite tough to beat, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think this will be quite a big race for Nichols and Cobden to try and, sort of get the name back in, not the headlight as such, but I think they've had a lot of wrong press recently. Not wrong press, but bad press for not having many winners, and for the horses that have not firing as much. I think this one will be a big one for them.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully they can do it for the triple threat nap. I'm loving that. Right, we'll move on then next to the 225, the Cotswold Chase. And for me, this is another one. This is the second one of the Mugiakas. This, for me, La Home Press absolutely wallops this lot. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's just nice to see him back, to be fair. Fingers crossed he'll get to the Gold Cup. But yeah, I don't think there's anything in here. A lot of these have probably had the best days in here, 10, 12, 11, 9. I know La Home Press is 10, but pretty lightly raced. We definitely haven't seen the best. Or the best for a run of seasons. I think the third a month ago now was, like I say, a step in the right direction. It was obviously a very, very hot race. And for me, he should take all the beating in here.
Well, then, Rich, you must love a favourite like this. Evans, surely. I mean, you've got the highest rated getting weight. I mean, what's he getting? He's getting £6 off Gentleman's Game. He's getting £4 off the likes of Stage Star. I mean, surely, if he's ever going to win another race, he's got to win this.
I mean, if he's going to be competitive in the Gold Cup, if that's his target, then he's just got to win this, hasn't he? I mean, he ran well in the King George off on seasonal World Periods, finishing third, didn't he?
Yep.
That was a good effort. I mean, he's rated 163, highest rated, finished fourth in the Gold Cup last March. He did get beat after his reappearance last season, though, at Ascot against, was it Picdory? I think it was. He's a fragile horse, is my only worry. But like you say, everything ticks the box for this. I can't really have Gentleman's Game. Chantry House, I can't really have. He managed to get a win last time out. Stage Star is the one that's interesting me. I mean, it's going to be decent enough ground, you said. So it's his first time over 3 miles. We don't really know if he stays. I think that's quite an interesting angle. I mean, he'll be 9 to 1. Obviously, he won the Paddy Power off top weight. He's a decent enough horse. That is the interesting one, I think, in this race. I mean, Delta Work is obviously trying to get that mark down now the cross country's a handicap. So he's going to be out the back of the telly. I don't really...
Definitely.
There's not a lot else in there. Chantry House, again, might be after some sort of handicap later down the line, back of the telly. I think Lahom's Press probably will win, but I think I like Stage Star each way as a little curveball.
Fair enough. That's a muggy little 2 places each way on Stage Star for Rich. But for me, I think Lahom Press should win this comfortably. I think he will, to be honest. And I'm going to put him as my second one in my Muggy Acca. We're building that Muggy Acca up. I thought you'd be creaming over this, Rich.
The next one's the banker, I think.
Do you think? Right, well, The next race, we have the 3 o'clock, which is the Bottle of Slossymouthe Hurdle. And we've got... Hang on a sec. Whoa. Constitution Hill here. According to this app here, that can't be right. William Hill have gone 1 to 5. That can't be right.
Get in, value.
That can't be right, because we're lumping it a lot.
I think Sky Bet's 1 to 10.
Everywhere's 1 to 10. That must be a glitch. It's got to have been. Yeah, it's got to be a glitch. Anyway, we won't spend too much time on this. Obviously, Lossiemouth isn't coming over. Not that it made any difference. I'd have probably had Constitutional shorter, even if she'd have been in here. She obviously gets nowhere near, and I'm loving it. Guess we're going to wait to keep wiping the smile off Rich's face.
Lossie.
All she can do is beat to you, Pooh. I think she goes to DRF, obviously. Irish champion hurdle. Probably gets beat there. Don't know by what, though, but don't care. No, Constitution Hill. Great to see him out again. Let's be honest, it could be the best champion we've ever seen. It's really good to see him out and okay. If he can go and win this comfortably, I mean, he's miles ahead of anything else. So he really should win this in... Can you have like a minus fourth gear or something like that? Because he could win this backwards. You won't spend too much time on him, but just great to see him out. Do you not think?
Yeah, it's great.
No, yeah, definitely. Where honest opinion, Rich, because I know we said it before, but just for the cameras, if Conhill bolts up here, 15 lengths on the bridle, untouched, do you still think Lossiemouth can win the champion hurdle?
Yes, we need this on record, just so people know.
Yeah.
So that when carry on, Rich. Answer the question.
You're telling me if Conhill wins by 15 lengths, beating a 1-4-6 Brentford Hope, but
the question is,
still delivered.
If he wins on the bridle and he looks fit and everyone's happy, do you give Lossiemouth a chance of reversing the form at Cheltenham?
Yes.
Is she going to beat him? Is Lossiemouth going to beat Constitution at Cheltenham?
I think she's got a chance. I think she's got a chance.
Is she going to beat him? Yes or no?
Lossie's going to win the champion hurdle.
Right. Bookmark that. We'll keep it in there. You're nearly as bad as that Paddy Brennan for trying to backtrack, by the way.
No, I mean, she's obviously going to win the Irish champion hurdle and then go for the champion hurdle double at Cheltenham. That's obviously the plan.
It's like, if she wins Irish champion hurdle, it's purely because Stateman's gone.
Oh.
She's one of them horses. She's only winning these races because other things aren't turning up. Have you noticed?
So when Conhill doesn't turn up in March, then yeah, there you go.
Well, again, you bank. That's what I mean. You're banking on things not turning up, and that's just not how to win. That's not sport, is it?
No, don't get me wrong. He's probably the best we've ever seen, but you can't really back him at the odds, can you? So you got to throw your hat for something else.
You can't back him at odds.
If Connor does win, then yeah, it's obviously great for the sport. Great, be cheering him on. But yeah, Lossy Mouth is the one I want to win.
Well, she needs to set off now if she wants to win. Right, moving on then to the Cleve, the 335. You've got Crambo in here, favourite, strong leader, who well and truly bombed out last time. Gal Road is just under the each way price, which is interesting. Monreal last year's 10th winner. 14's one bigger the rest. Squad and Rich, you got anyone in the Cleve this year?
I think this is appalling. I can't get excited about this race, if I'm honest with you.
What more do you want? We've got a competitive race here, some competitive prices.
No superstars, is there? Let's be honest.
You'd rather have 1 to 10 on then? Is that what you'd rather have?
I mean, I'd rather watch the Connell race than this one, if I'm honest with you.
Are we here to watch it or to bet on it?
All right. The one I probably would give a second chance to is Strong Leader. I mean, he ran no sort of a race last time, didn't he? The race that Crambo won. He's had wind surgery. I'm willing to give him another chance. I mean, he was 11-8 last time at Ascot. Favourite to Crambo. Crambo was 9-1. If you can give Strong Leader that, if you can forgive him that race, then if the market was completely wrong last time out, then yeah, it's just a very muddling race. Strong leader, but there's no massive opinion. I can't have Monreal. And Crambo, I think he started off well last season and his form just kind of tailed off. So I'd like to see him back it up before backing him, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. I mean, I'm not a massive betting race myself, but if I'm going to have a bet, I'd probably chance Gal Road each way. I thought he'd run a decent race behind Lucky Place last time. Sort of staying on, he steps up to 3 mile. Strong Leaders is weird, isn't he? Obviously, I mean, he's completely and utterly bombed out, and now they've gone for a wind up. Is that a bit of a worry? Crambo's beat Hidden Valley Lake by a head in that race. He's then come out and been smashed or not run. I know there's a cloud over Henry de Bromhead's runners at the moment. So you could probably forgive that. But do you want to be backing either of them two at a short price at top at market? I don't know. It's one of them. I'd probably say the more.
It's not going to be soft enough for Botox has, is it? Monreal.
Yeah, I can't have Monreal. Botox that needs a bog. Gallo back over hurdles.
Yeah, and then you've got Kerriel and Transmission. There's not a lot to go out apart from the first 3. So
I'd probably say the most likely winner is going to be Crambo, and I maybe chance a quid each way on Gal Road. But yeah, not a strong opinion for me. Joe, what about yourself?
Yeah, not a massive, huge opinion. I think there's obviously a lot going on this weekend and a lot leading up to it. I think Rich said, I think this Cleve, in terms of quality-wise, is a bit disappointing from the UK side. In my opinion, I do like Crambo. When he beat Paisley Park, he's probably one of the only horses to finish. I know Paisley Park was coming to the end, but probably one of the only horses to outpace Paisley Park in a finish. It was a decent return to form. But like you say, a lot of these have question marks over them. Gal Road, like you mentioned, James, he's a pretty solid second performer. Can he get his head in front here? If any of them do have a mishap, I think he'll be the one to take advantage of it all. But for me, I would not at the prices. If I was picking the most likely winner for me, it would be Crambo, but it will be a race I won't be having a bet in. I just think there's too many big numbers in the forms and too many question marks over these horses for me to have a strong bet or have a strong prediction in the race.
That's fair enough. We'll leave that one for there. Then the 410 and the last race we're going to do at Cheltenham. You've obviously got on the short price in here. It's a very good horse, and I'm really glad he's running again. I'm glad they made the decision not to go straight to Cheltenham. I'm going to get him out again. Potter's Charm is a short price favourite. Bill Joyce second favourite. Quebec. I can remember how we pronounce this one. Quebecios. Yeah, we'll take that. Gameson's Guy's obviously in as well, but we don't think he'll go here, do we? Might go to Donny, but we'll see. Potter's Charm is he the third one in the Muggy Treble?
Rich, I like it. Yeah, Rich, you've got to.
You're obviously a massive fan of Potter's Charm, I mean, he's 1-1-1-1-1. Is it another one on the bounce?
I mean, I've been all over him all season, so I can't desert him. I just think he's been class. Yeah, I mean, he's the highest rated in the field. It is probably the toughest field he has faced. I mean, there's a lot of nice horses in here. Whether or not they're up to his level is questionable. But yeah, I mean, I listened to another podcast. I think it could have been The Unbridled, where Sam was on talking to Matt and said that he was just fresh, and they told him, the horse was telling them that he was ready to run again. So they're going to roll the dice, and yeah, I mean, it's 42 grand for the winner. It's a decent pot to pick up again, and if the horse is fresh and ready to go, then let's get him running. I mean, you've got Bill Joyce. A lot of form kind of ties in this race, which is quite interesting. I mean, you've got Quebecios finished second to Bill Joyce at Sandown. Wade Hout finished behind Celtic Dino, who then finished fourth behind Potter's Charm in the Formby. There's a lot of form that interlinks, but at the end of the day, Potter's Charm comes out on top against all these. Like you say, we've got Games's Guy in here for the Green Alguera team as a horse that we all really like. But he is doubly entered. Does he go here over 2 miles 4 against a stronger field, or does he go to Donny, which is a weaker field but steps up to 3 miles? I don't know if he needs that this early in his career, but the easy race does look the Donny one. But yeah, hopefully he can run well. It's a good race. Like I say, I hope Potter's Charm wins. But yeah, there'll be a lot of horses in here that I think you should follow going forward, because they could all end up being semi-decent, nice horses that'll win plenty of races, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Joe, have you got an opinion, or I was just going to give it to Potter's Charm? I think he's a very strong winner. I think that's a strong treble on the Cheltenham day, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed, mate. I think back up in trip as well, will play in his advantage. I mean, it will be interesting to see how close Bill Joyce gets, I think, because he's obviously got some nice form in there. And then, I mean, I know he was well beaten by him, but he was up 45 lengths behind the New Lion, wasn't he, last time out? But yeah, I think Potter's Charm should show his dominance. And I think it's nice to see that, you know, a trainer just coming out and saying he was showing us he was ready to run, so we're going to run him. You know what? You know, it's not just like, yeah, well, no, it's not. That's not the plan, so we're not doing it. You know, the people are willing to change for the horses and, you know, just take the chance and take the run. If he's not going to win here, then is he going to win at Cheltenham? And if he's ready to run, then why not? Why not do it?
Exactly, mate. Yep, fair enough. Really glad they're running him, and hopefully he goes and wins. Right, moving over to Doncaster then. We've got 4 races at Doncaster. And we're going to start with the 130, the handicap chase. You've got Nelson in here as favourite. Calico for the Skeletons there. We've got a couple of runners at Doncaster. General Madrano's in here, third favourite. Stormy Cross goes 5-1. Rich, have you got an opinion on this race?
Yes, I do. Whether it's not a strong opinion is another question. I mean, it's quite interesting that Harry Skelton goes to Donny rather than Cheltenham. I mean, I'm not sure what Skelton horses running at Cheltenham, but
I don't think the Bale got anything into it. Cheltenham. I don't think they got anything actually.
But I mean, that's quite interesting itself. I mean, obviously Dan's going for the trainers' title, and Harry's leading the jockeys competition for £500,000. So obviously they're coming here entering horses at Donny because they feel they're going to pick up some decent prize money.
We've got Joyou Machine into the Cheltenham at 100-1. That's it. It's only ours.
There you go then. The one I've landed on is Petit Tonnerre. I mean, his last win did come back in 2022, which is a negative. But, I mean, he's run pretty decent over fences. I mean, his best run of the season came at Aintree in October. He finished second behind Imperial Saint, who runs at Cheltenham on the same day. That was off 125, so he's run off the same mark. If you read the reports of his last run, they all are settled in rear, you know, late headway sort of stuff. So it just makes me feel that they're kind of readying him for something. And potentially this could be it. I mean, the pot's worth 26 grand, so it's not a small pot. And yeah, I'm just going to give him a chance. You never know. I think he's quite a decent price.
Yeah, for sure. What about yourself, Joe?
Well, Rich, after mentioning the Skeletons, I thought you were going to mention Calico. But that's who I've sort of landed on. He's won at Donny. He comes second at Donny in this race last season off the same weight. You know, the horse that won was pretty well handicapped, and Calico was given a lot of weight away, and Tristan Durrell was on that day. But I don't think I've never been overstruck by him anyway, but I just think off the same mark, Harry and Dan coming here, like you said, Rich, off the same mark in the same race. Harry's on. I don't think you get a better jockey at the moment. I can't see why he won't win and why they would bring him here in the same race and the same mark if he wasn't here to win.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've gone for. I was looking at Storming Crossgirls for a bit, looked like a bit of an improvement, but his form's not really held up that much. One got beat today. Tommy Cullen actually put him up, thought he'd go well, but he got beat well by quite a long way. I think Calico coming in here off the same mark this time with Harry on. I think that's a telling thing. I know obviously they might want it as decent ground, but I know it's good. I think it's good to. It's currently good to soft, good in places. I know they'll probably have a bit of rain right now because we've got a bit of a storm, but I do think it's dry all day tomorrow and then into Saturday. So I think you're going to have a little bit of good in the ground still, hopefully. And if you do,
hurdle, is it a chase or hurdle? Is it chase, this one?
That's the chase track, yeah. So it's currently chase, good to soft, good in places. But the hurdles course is good to soft, soft in places. So, yeah. If it don't get too much and it dries up between... I mean, you're near Donny. What's it like now, Rich? Is it raining?
Not currently, but it has rained quite a bit today. So whether or not...
I think we had you a bit overnight, but hopefully it should dry out. But anyway, I think him in here off an unchip, well, same mark as last time. Harry back on. There's not really anything in here, I don't think, that's lurking at the bottom. I know, like Greenhalls, I've got Herbiers in here, but I'm not really a fan of him. Third time lucky, Petites in here, I can leave them. Yeah, I'll stick with Calico. He's 92, so he's a real muggy each way, I think, even though even 2 places, but I'll stick with Calico. I think Skeletons could have a good day on Saturday, personally. Right, moving on then to the Riverdon Temps Network Riverdon Novices Hurdle, Grade 2, 3, extended 3 mile, Western Night in here, Shantou Night in here, Moon Rocket. We've also got Gamesters Guy obviously entered in here, who I think, if I come to you first, Rich, mate, I think we quite like him, don't we, for running here?
Yeah, like I said before, this is the easy race. I mean, there's no Potter's Charm, there's no Wade Out, there's no 6 mile bridge in here. Like you say, it does look like his first preference is going to be Cheltenham. I mean, Henry Brook is their main stable jockey and he is booked up. I think Toby's at Doncaster. But yeah, if he was to run here, he would be the one I'd probably have a go at. I mean, he bolted up last time, didn't he, at Carlisle, winning by 16 lengths. I just think he's an improving horse. But yeah, if he does go to Cheltenham, I hope he runs well, but I can't see him beating Potter's Charm. So this is why I think if he does come in here, then he's got a really good chance for picking up a graded contest. If he doesn't turn up, the one I did land on was Moon Rocket. I think he's second favourite now. He's a previous course winner in November, winning over 2 miles 4. That was over 12 months. He's then backed that up and at Southall. That was over 3 miles. He beat Just a Memory by 8 lengths. So whatever he's running against, he is beating quite convincingly. Whether or not the form stacks too much is another question, but he gets the trip. He's in good form, and like I say, he's quite open to progression. So he's the one that probably chance if Gamesters Guy does not turn up.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not really bothered with this race, to be fair, unless Gamesters Guy... If Gamesters Guy turned up here, I'd be all over him, me personally, but I'll wait and see what happens if he does. I'll be shocked if he goes to that Cheltenham race, me, you know what I mean?
Is
he going to... Unless you think you're going to win it, why go there and maybe finishing behind horses rated £15 higher or whatever they are, you know, it's one of them. You're looking at him for like an handicap or something. It don't really make much sense, but... No, I mean, I'll probably leave the race unless Gamesters Guy turn up, me personally. What about yourself, Joe, mate?
Yeah, mate, I'm in complete agreement with you. Like we say, I think Gamesters Guy will absolutely love this step up. I'm not here to say anything about jockeys, but I think Henry Brook is a brilliant jockey, and I would have been all over him if he was on. Whether he turns up here, like we say, or Cheltenham, I'm not too sure, but I think this is a great, great chance for him. And unless they dodge it and go to Cheltenham, which, like we said, would be strange, and I can't see him winning that race, they must have a, you know, some type of handicap hurdle or something in mind. But I can see him really doing well here, and I can see him definitely shortening. I know why he is as big, because he's double entered. But I think if he does enter, what price do you think he'd go off at if he was in this race?
I think he'd definitely get backed in.
Yeah, I do.
Something like that. It won't be 8-1, I don't think, surely. I mean, they've only got Billy the Big Red, the real Big Red. That's the only other ride he would have at Cheltenham. I know they've got a Rock and Jabba, but that's obviously John Joe. So I don't know. It just seems a bit odd to me, but I'll try and find out anyway. We'll see where he ends up. But yeah, I really like Gibson's guy, really big improver. But I still don't know how it. Well, we know how we got beat. Navajo obviously beat him on his hurdles there.
That was
run, sorry, and it was a bit of a sick one. When we had Henry Brook on the podcast, obviously he said he got it wrong. So it's one of them. It's decent form. He's off 127. I think there's a big pot in him. So I don't know. You could go win this maybe and then go for a pot, but you could not win that other race at Cheltenham and blow your mark a bit, especially if you're up the arse of a Potter's Charm. I mean, that's shuffling game over, isn't it? But we'll see what happens. Right, moving on then. 2 more races to go. This one's an easy one for me. The 240, which is the Virgin Bet Yorkshire Rose Mares Hurdle. I think it's another one for Skelton, me, and I think Katira absolutely wallops this lot. I know Jatara's in here, first time cheap pieces. Has won a race against Royal Eagle, won a race on the flat, been smashed in a couple of decent races. Yeah, I don't feel me with much confidence that. I thought Katira, I really liked her performance at Kempton. I thought she smashed Della Casaluna, still same weight between them. And that one went out and won next time, reopposing here. I thought she ran well against Crambo in the race at Ascot. She travelled into that race really well and come 3/4 of a length fifth. That was a grade 1. Dropping into a mare's grade 2 here. I'll be shocked if this don't win personally. And she probably won her dad onto the end at treble for a little 4-fold acca on the Saturday for a bit of fun. What about yourself, Joe? Are you with Katira?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I was bang on her at the start of the season. Do you remember that day at Wetherby when her and Lucia seemed to take the same hurdle the wrong way, and that was race done? But like you say, I think she definitely stepped forward from that at Kempton. And then the last day at Ascot, obviously, if you look at the bare form and you say finish 5th, well, she done all right, but she was ahead behind the Wall Park, who was obviously bought by JP. She was only 3 3/4 lengths behind Crambo in the grade 1. If she doesn't drop down to a grade 2 mares race and win this, I think the Skeltons would be very, 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 very disappointed. Not much more to say, really. I liked her at the start of the season. I think she's a cracking bet here, to be honest. This would probably be one of my best bets of the weekend. Or strongest fancies of the weekend in this race, sorry. Apart from Connell.
Go on then, Rich. Are you with Katira or are you going to try and take her on?
No, I think Katira just wins this one. I'll not repeat what you just said. The only thing I would say is that I think this race is an ITV Calico's race and don't think will be, will it? I think Skelton only gets points for his competition for ITV races. And I just think he'll bolt up in this and pick up maximum points. And that's what they want to achieve. The pot's worth 30 odd grand, 35 grand. Trainers happy, jockeys happy. Move on.
Love that. I like that, Rich. And I will tell you now as well, the 4-fold, the Muggy 4-fold, Katira, La Press, East India Dock, and Potter's Charm pays just over 16-1.
Oh.
So I think that's worth it. I think that's worth a cheeky little 1 point or whatever your point is, a tenner or whatever. What do you think to that? I quite like that. Some I'll obviously let it down, but you never know. I think that's a good win for Skelton there. And now we're going to finish on the last race. And we're going to go to the Great Yorkshire Chase. Always a really good race, this. It's the 3:15 at Doncaster on Saturday. And once my thing loads up, I'll tell you the market. So our current favourite is Forward Plan at 6-1. The Changing Man joint favourite, to be fair, 6-1. Idalco Bihu, Tighten Our Belts, a horse we've well known on the podcast, and sort of Bigger the Rest. Go on then, Rich. Which way are you landing in the Great Yorkshire Chase?
A tricky little race. The one I've landed on, we saw finish second last year, James, and that was Forward Plan. I think he went down by like a nose or something like that. I can't remember exactly if he was in front or if he got pipped. But yeah, I think it's a race they obviously target. He finished second last year off 129. He's currently rated 138, but they've got a £10 claimer, so takes him
Brave
down to
is
one.
that?
Very brave. I mean,
£10 claimer, Jesus.
I mean, I assume the plant. This has always been the main target, so they'll all be well trained. It's a decent enough pot. He's been running fairly well this season, so yeah, I just think he's probably been targeted, and I can expect a big run. I know he's favourite 6-1, but if you know a horse has been targeted for this, then he's obviously going to run well, hopefully. And like you say, £10 claimer, big risk, but they obviously know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it puts him roughly on what he was on last year. Like I say, pipped a nose in it last year. He's definitely going to have been planned back from it. He's definitely on the short list. He's got to be, even with the claimer on, although that is a big risk. With a £10 claiming amateur on there. The other one that I like, and you're going to think I'm part of the fan club just because he's been on the pocket, but I quite like Snipe for this. 11-1. I think he's the type of horse who, again, has been sort of targeted for something. He's been second to Wasdell Dundalk, second to Valdanza. I think there's been sort of excuses with these runs. I don't know whether he's been run fully to his potential. Are we allowed to say that sort of thing? Where it kind of looks like he should have been winning, even though he's gone up a couple of pounds each time for it, which is a shame. But he's in here off 128. I've got this feeling Skelton. There's a reason. I mean, there's Cheltenham Trials Days worth a lot of money, and they've sent 3 here. You know what they're going for. You know the really good target trainer and jockey. They've been smashing it out lately, and just the way some of their horses have been performing, like Protectorat blew me away the other weekend. I just got a feeling that something's going to drop here. And I think Snipe's got 11-1 is definitely worth an each way play. You're talking 5 places. Some might even pay more on the day or whatever. Oh no, they're all paying 5 places. But yeah, 11-1
treble might be worth a shout.
11-1 each way for me. 11-1, and the treble wouldn't be a bad shout either, just in case. Calico, Katira, and Snipe. But I'm not putting that up as a treble, but it'd be class if it would. But yeah, Snipe for me each way. What about you, Joe? You muted?
I'm the same, mate. I was there at Carlisle the first day he ran this season. And I was just left thinking, what was that? I backed him that day, probably daft for backing a Skelton handicapper at the start of the season. And I just thought it was a good ride in terms of you couldn't massively question it. But if you watched it again, which I did when I got home, you know, there was a fair few questions in terms of, you know, like you say, he was held up in last all the way. And it was just the way he was held up last. And it's a long running in Carlisle. And I feel like you've got a lot of horses can get away and a lot of horses drop back from the field. And Snipe seemed to just stay back. And then he stayed on. And I just feel like there was a lot left in the tank. And same the last day again, and like you said there, it feels like it's obvious. It's an obvious one staring you in the face at 11-1. You can get 5 places, and I can't see this lad out the top 5. I mean, Rich mentioned forward plan, and I did have a look going down, but I can't back with a £10 claim run. I just can't. When you've got someone like Skelton in a race like this, where you've got Argy Bargy and stuff like that. I think you sort of need someone who knows the horse inside out and knows sort of the track and everything like that. And I think this could be Snipe's big day.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
Skelton treble, just briefly, is 150-1 on Bet365.
Oh my God! £1 each way, please. Thank you very much.
How much did you say? £100 each way.
Might be bigger elsewhere, but that's what I'm just looking at.
The thing is, this race always seems to become a bit of a slog, and they always end up strung out, and stuff can't get there. Snipe off a 10 stone 13. This could be a master stroke from the Skeletons, you know, getting him snuck in here off that low weight like that. I don't know. I think it's been a bit of a plan. So yeah, forward plan would be a big danger. Just the jockey is very quick. Is one of them in it. You can see it in getting it wrong. You just don't know. But Snipe for me, 11-1. Love it. Right, that'll do us, lads. I'm going to come to you then, Rich. Have you got anything else you'd like to mention Obviously, I'm going to put a point on Muggy Yak. It's got to be done for the laugh. But yeah, you got anything else you'd like to run through? Anything we should keep an eye out for the weekend?
Yes, of course I have.
Cool.
So we'll go to tomorrow. A few at Doncaster, James, just because you're going. 12.55 Yealand, a previous course winner in December. That was only off a mark that's £4 lower than where he's running tomorrow. I think he's about 5-1, or he was this afternoon.
Is he a winner? Am I backing him?
I think he's got a good each way chance. I don't know what price he is, but I think he could run a decent race. Then you've got the 203 Meet Me by the Sea for Ben Pauling, I think it is. Unbeaten over hurdles. Beat the well-fancied the Kemble Brewery last time out at Ludlow. I mean, he was 4-11 on. He was meant to bolt up, and Meet Me by the Seas just went past him. So yeah, I think he could maintain a record, his unbeaten record. Again, I think he's odds on, so no bet really. But Sandown, 1:15. Diva Luna's back out, so hopefully she can go and win to enhance her chances in the Mares Novice. Then what we've got Saturday. So we've got Doncaster 20:12, the first race. I quite like Belfrina in this. I was there on the 29th of December when Belfrina went past Matt Warner, who reopposes on Saturday. He was about a length in front, approaching the last, and then he fell at the last, and Matt Warner won by 10 lengths. So if he stays on his feet, I think we probably will win. What else we got? We've got Fairy House, 12:28. Kazakh de Artel, I'm going to say it is. Set to make handicap debut off 108. He's just a horse that I put in my tracker that was potentially one for handicaps. Whether or not Saturday is the day, maybe not, but he's one to certainly follow, I think. Then you've got Utoxeter, 12:47 for Greenland Guerrero. Another handicap debutant, Eagles Gold. Ben Smith taking the ride, taking 6 off. If you go back and watch the Henry Brook Cheltenham show, he talks about his chances, and I think he should have a decent enough chance. Utoxeter 122. You've got Royce, who absolutely nearly brought me to tears when he was 20 lengths clear and fell at the last. Probably won't get my money back on him on Saturday because he's going to be no sort of price whatever. But yeah, hopefully he wins because I'm sure he owes a few people a few quid. Then you've got back to Fairy House. You've got Baby Kate in the 138. I can't remember who she's taking on, but Paul Townend's riding the other one.
Aurora Vega.
That's the one, yeah. So I think that'd be quite a tasty race. You've got the 213 at Fairy House. Kawabunga finished second to Kopek de Boards. That was on Hurdle's debut, and he was another one that Tony Mullins actually mentioned for the Supreme. And then, like you say, he was like 50, 100 to 1 and got halved in price pretty much as soon as that comment came out. I thought it was a decent enough debut. Whether or not where he goes in Cheltenham is another question, but it's going to be a good race, that, because I think like William Money's in there as well. So,
Yak.
So, yeah, I think that could maybe sway a couple of markets, especially odds-wise. Then what else we got? Another one at Fairy House, 323, presenting Max, is set to make handicap hurdles debut off 107 with a £4 claimer. This one's quite interesting because he's one that's finished behind the right horses, if that makes sense. I mean, he finished 4th to Fenway Park, who's rated 122. He's finished 3rd to Romeo Coolio, who obviously is second favourite for Supreme. And then his last run before he got these hurdles mark, he finished 11th behind Jasmine DeVoe. So, obviously, you don't want to get anywhere near them on his last run. So, I think potentially the plan has always been handicaps. And, like I say, making his debut off 107 with a claimer on, I think he could be primed to finally win. The last one I've got, where is it? Utoxeter for Greenland Guerrero, 232. Loon de Lamar is one I'm going to chance. I mean, he made a steady comeback, Haydock. He finished down the field, maybe 7th, I think, but that was his first run for 582 days. That was over 2 miles as well. His last win came over 2 miles 4, so he's up in trip to that on Saturday. He runs off 107, but I think Ben's on board taking 7 off, so brings him down to 100. The horse that he beat when he last won, I think, has won over hurdles. I think he was about 105, 106. So potentially, if he has blown the cobblers away, I think he could have a decent chance. So yeah, there's quite a few in there that I'm quite looking forward to on Saturday. And that's it.
Lovely. Make sure you get all them in your notepads and trackers and keep an eye out for them at the weekend. I'm sure Rich will put them up on Twitter and stuff as well anyway.
Oh, I'll be all over them.
100%.
There's some good winners lately. So yeah, that's us then. Thanks for joining us all tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed that and listening to talking through the racing. Obviously we've got all those to get through. Next thing for us then is Monday. We've got the next Cheltenham Anti-Post show. Obviously a very successful one last time with Harry Skelton on. We've got another good jockey coming on, which will all be announced over the weekend.
Are we going to Ireland? Is that what we're doing?
We might be going to Ireland, yeah. Might be going to see somebody over in Ireland who knows a bit about it and rides some decent horses. It'd be interesting to get his thoughts on certain things that are happening at the moment. So, yeah, looking forward to that. We'll get that announced over the weekend. And then we'll be back next Thursday for another preview and we'll crack on. But yeah, anything else you lads would like to say before we go? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Brilliant to be back on. Loved it. I will be here Monday. Next Thursday, I will be travelling home, so I don't think I'll be on. But
exclusive, Joey's on Monday.
I will be. Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, I'll be here Monday. Same setup. Hopefully, good Wi-Fi and good pictures. So yeah, loved it tonight, lads. Love getting stuck in, and fingers crossed, a good weekend of racing, and we can sit and enjoy it, and it can enhance and roll up the Cheltenham talk.
Yeah, obviously we're not far off now from the festival. We've got I think it's about 7 weeks left to go. It's going to be interesting. We'll have a couple more Cheltenham shows, so we'll get those teams sorted. I know, Joe's, your team's absolutely horrendous at the moment, isn't it?
Shocking. Oh, he's got one, Sergino.
No,
right.
Sergino.
Oh, yes, you've got Sergino for the Arcal at 8 to 1.
And lost him out for the mares.
Not a chance.
I'll be all right. Anyway, as long as Monday wins Supreme, I'll be happy. People will be
8 to 1 on Sergino, lads. Tell you what, that's all right, isn't it?
That's not a bad price as well. It'd be nice if you're your captain as well, but it's not a bad pick in the end.
No.
Everyone gets happy with one, don't they? I did it with Stella Story last year.
Oh, yeah. Only chuffing just there. But no, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. Obviously, please like the video if you can. We do appreciate it, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll see you all on Monday with another jockey guest. Make sure you tune in for that. So thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye and good luck with your bets at the weekend. See you later. Bye bye.
See you later.
Like and subscribe.